Okay guys, so we're creating an apple bird garnish, and what your group is going to get is the sheet with the directions, and we're going to see how well you did, and there's a rating scale, and this kind of goes with our sensory lab for this week. Okay, so a couple of things. You're each going to get your own apple, so however many people in your group, that's how many apples that you're going to grab. Make sure they're washed well, dried well, and then you're going to go ahead and start. As far as the tools that you're going to need a chef's knife and a paring knife and your cutting board. And last but not least, you're going to put together one bowl for your group with a little bit of water and some lemon juice, okay? And then we're going to go ahead and get started. Make sure that your knives have been sharpened. I'm going to go ahead and sharpen our knives for us so we're ready to go, but the knife sharpener will be out, so if you do start, and when you get started, if you do feel like maybe it needs to be a little bit more sharpened, that's fine. You have the tools to do it. So as far as our sharpener goes, there's two levels. It's level 1, level 2. Depending on how many times that you do it, it should be equal amount. So if you do it 2 times on one side, it should be 2 times on the other. And then you would just take a damp towel to rinse the blade and make sure it's ready to go for you and your team. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. For the most part, it's going to be done on the cutting board, so hopefully you'll be able to see it really well, and we'll go from there. Okay, so guys, let's go ahead and begin. And what we're going to do is your apple, you make sure that it's washed well and dried well, and you begin. So the best thing to do is to go ahead and start with your paring knife, and the directions tell you what you're going to try to do is just create a base. And the base is for the reason for, we don't want our apple to roll around, okay, because obviously it's pretty round and we don't want it to do that. So we're just going to kind of trim off the bottom part here, and we're going to make sure that it's pretty stable now and doesn't roll around. All our pieces, make sure you dip them into the lemon juice there, so again it prevents it from turning brown too quickly for us. Okay, with the stem of each apple facing you, so you want it to face to you, you're going to put the cut side of the apple down on a flat surface, and using a paring knife you're going to cut a V-shaped wedge from the top. So what does that mean is that you're going to try to cut directly on top and literally, just as it says, into a V shape. So for example, to start us off, we are literally just going to go from one side to the other side and cut out a V shaped piece, just like that. Okay, you're going to drop it in there, and then you're just going to keep going, and each time you cut should go a little bit deeper than your original cut, so that way you can kind of see the layers. I'm just trying to reach in there because it quite didn't go far enough. And each piece, again, should be a little bit deeper and a little bit deeper each time. As you get bigger into our apple pieces, we may need the larger knife. I'm actually more comfortable with the paring knife for this. So we're going to keep going on with the paring knife. And again, each piece. Okay, so we've made it all the way. I can already see the core pieces, okay, and that's where I'm going to go ahead and stop. Now what you're going to do now is do that same process all over again on either side of your apple here. Oops, I just kind of jabbed that into the apple. So what we're going to do as best we can, same way, we're going to wedge our first piece and pop it out, dip it in, and we're going to keep going. Kind of got too big on that one. There we go. I think I can do one more. definitely not a fast process. It's definitely want to be slow. And again, I've already reached my core on that side. So we're going to go ahead and do our final side where our wedge continues. So again, you're going to wedge out a small piece. Oh, one bits the dust there. So we're going to keep going. One of our wings is going to be shortened. It's okay. I'm going to go ahead and drop it in to our apple piece there. Sorry, little fella. Didn't quite go far enough on that one. Okay. And then last but not least, we're going to go ahead and cut actually kind of like a one more, not necessarily a wedge, full V-shaped wedge, but just a wedged piece slice out on the side there. Okay, so following through with our directions, now we're going to go ahead and place back our V shapes. So basically you're just putting back the pieces at this point. So you can kind of see how this is going here. I think this goes on the side, I believe. Oh, the other way. You're kind of putting the apple kind of back together, but not really. My one piece is a little fragile here. This way. And then I would have my other piece that I lost. Maybe I can save it with this little, I can make a V piece out of my top piece here. Okay. And right there, I'm going to kind of move the camera around a little bit so you can see. But right there, you kind of see where this is going to make your final product, which is a bird. And this is an awesome garnish. You can garnish pretty much just about anything with the right tools, so it's kind of fun and different, all rolled into one. Okay, so now to finish up our bird, we have a couple of choices. We still have our pieces here that you can continue to add to the feathers, however. And remember that one piece that we cut out, it actually says that you can use the center pieces as the head and neck, but I found that it's actually easier for a big piece to go ahead and prepare that. So you're just kind of literally cutting it to make it look like a neck of an animal or a bird. And then you're arranging it on your apples as best you can. I might have to thin it out some. It's still a little too top heavy. And got my apple piece here. And there is our bird, our finished bird product on our cutting board. That has a little eyeball there. You can cut again another piece of the apple. If you were to do this for a real display, I would somehow make sure that the eyeball could stay on there, but again, it's just something fun and creative. If you literally kind of skin an apple piece, that right there will stay on our bird's eye, so you can kind of see how our bird is, and all the way around, that's how it's displayed. So it's fun, something different, and voila, that is our garnish of a bird. And then that would be for your points. So as long as you followed all the safety steps, sanitation practices, you follow this procedure, and voila, you have your bird. You will get full credit for these attempts, and hopefully you will make a Garnish bird yourselves for you and your group. Once it's all done and I have seen your display, then you can go ahead and you can try your pieces. I don't want to disrupt it just yet, so I'm just going to have a small piece here and have an apple piece to enjoy, because I like apples. All right, guys, good luck.